Intercept. 0 means x-intercept. Okay, so the question's asking is, where does my line cross on this axis? Where does my line cross on this axis? Everybody cool with that? Benny, you already know?
Oh, well, I thought,
Hey, I'm going to be super impressed if you do.
okay, I thought we were trying to find a line intercept or something.
Benny, if I just told you that 0 means x-intercept, why would you look for the y-intercept?
I don't know.
That's what you get for thinking you can have 2 girlfriends.
Oh my gosh, you said it.
Dude, you set yourself up for that one, though. I had to. That's the last one, I promise. That's it. That's it. I'm not here the rest of the week, so it literally has to be the last one. I'll forget come Tuesday. All right, the graph of the linear function passes through this point and has a slope of that. Given the information that I have, what formula can I put this in? Point slope. Listen, it's this logical. Point slope. It gives them both to you. Again, the star chart is up here. We will show you where it's at in Canvas before we leave today, but in case you forget or in case you don't know how to do it, right here, linear equations. I'll even put a little right there. I've marked it off for you. So if you have to get up and look tomorrow during your test, just come do it. Okay, formula. Y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Can somebody plug in the information that we have for this chart? Are you going to do it?
It'd be y plus 9.
Good. Everybody see why you got plus?
Yeah.
Because it's minus a negative. Minus a negative becomes a plus. Okay, go ahead, Charger. Thank you.
Equals -3 parentheses x minus 1.
Anybody disagree with that?
No.
Did it right. Okay? Now, from here, we're just going to solve it out. We're trying to get it to slope-intercept form. So if I do this, I'm going to distribute the -3. So now I'm going to drop down here, you guys. Y plus 9 equals -3x plus 3. Okay? Ella, what's my last step? What do you want to divide by? Luke, what do you think?
Subtract 9.
Good, subtract 9. We have y equals -3x minus 6. Okay, but how does that help me? A couple different ways. There's multiple ways to solve this, and once again, I don't care how you get the right answer, just get the right answer, okay? If I want to graph that, that's great. I'm going to graph it. So I'm going to literally start at -6. Why am I starting at -6, Hayden?
Because it's the y.
It's the y-intercept, that's where I'm crossing. Now, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the x-intercept. But I know that my slope is -3. 1, 2, 3 over 1. Why did I go that direction opposed to the other direction? Why do that? Tommy?
Because it's a negative.
It's a negative slope. So if I want to go up on this line, I got to go up 3 over 1 this way. So what do you think the x-intercept is going to be? -2. Okay. I'm going to throw you for a curveball here. This is just bonus material now that we've gone over this. Can anybody tell me, now that I have this equation, another way that I could find the x-intercept? We've talked about it, but it was probably just in passing. Anybody tell me how I could find the x-intercept? What do you think, Colin?
Divide -3x and divide
I appreciate the confidence. Katie, what do you think? Put into what? I mean, we could. That seems like a lot of work. Hayden, what do you think? And then if Hayden doesn't know, I'll give you the answer.
At least for this one, I see you can switch the y-intercept number and the slope around, and that would work for this one.
Okay, maybe for this one, but not, Tarver, what do you think?
Plug in a 0 for y.
Oh, boom. There we go. Tarver. I'm not going to lie. I'm very impressed that you know that.
I love algebra.
Okay, somebody, not Miss Tarver, why can I plug a 0 in for y? Steven?
Because when
y-intercept is, whatever the y-intercept is, y has to be 0.
Yeah, so we're gonna kind of combine our two methods here. Right here, this ordered pair is -2, 0. Now we wouldn't know that if we were looking at it from this way. But just like every time we have a y-intercept, the x value is 0. Every time we have an x-intercept, the y value is 0. So if we plug in a 0 for y and solve this out, add 6 to both sides, we have 6 is equal to a -3x. And we find out that -2 is equal to x. That's it. Well done, Tarver. Well done. I half expected you to say something very like witty and non-helpful, but I'm impressed.
Not in this moment.
Not in this.
Not where I can shine.
Not with the drive. Okay, so this one says draw a line that appears to have an x-intercept of -5 and a y-intercept of 3. If I gave you a graph, could you draw that line?
Yes.
Okay? We all understand the difference between x and y-intercept. Okay, good, good.
I'm on my way.
Cool.
Is that your picture?
Yes.
I'm gonna try not to cry and pass out all the same.
Yeah, we had our halfway mark on Thursday last week.
How will you not see some of this?
I'm a private person, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody up here, just kind of like spread like wildfire.
Have a good day.
Yep. Alright, it says describe the y-intercept of this graph. So if we describe the y-intercept of this graph, what would you tell me?
18.
18?
16.
There's not even an 18 on there.
16.
16, right?
I
Now,
got confused because the orange line.
because the orange line, that's fair, that's fair.
Oh.
Now, let's
I can
think
tell.
about this particular line though. Let's think about this particular line.
Wait.
Okay, nice.
Water level at 16. Explain that to me in like a real world, what does that mean? If I say the water level is starting at 16, how would we describe that to somebody? AJ.
It's 16 feet high from the base of whatever.
Yeah, so like let's just take like a lake, or here's a river. So what this is saying is it's at 16 feet. So like if you were to go swimming in that river, from top of the water to the bottom, it's 16 feet. What would cause the river to rise?
Rain.
Rain, right? Rain, or if some like big company starts like having runoff into their stream, like it's going to cause it to get deeper. Does that make sense?
Oh, it can.
Okay? I just want you to be aware of that. I'm not just teaching you math. I'm trying to connect what it actually means. So we got plenty of time. We're doing good. So draw a graph that represents this equation. Okay, hold on, go back to this. What form is this in right now? Standard form, right? Convert standard form to slope-intercept form for me. Convert that to slope-intercept form for me. Steven, you got it done already? You have a question? Let me get it right now, and then you can walk me through it. All right, Steven, tell me what to do.
You add 3x to both sides.
Add 3x to both sides. So now I've got 5y is equal to 3x minus 15. Now, before Steven, you tell me the next step. I think it was Charger. I know we talked about this yesterday, but I'm just going to reiterate it again. I put the 3x here because it's y equals mx plus b. If in your brain it makes more sense to put the 3x on the end of this equation, doesn't make a difference. But for the simple fact of trying to make it match y equals mx plus b, that's where I'm making that decision from. Okay, Steven, what's next?
Divide by 5 and 1.
Divide everything by 5. So we're going to have y equals 3 over 5x minus 3. We're okay with that?
Yes.
Could you graph that line?
Yes.
Because here's how the question is going to be presented tomorrow. It's going to give you a very similar question in standard form, and it's going to give you 4 graphs. And it's going to make you pick A, B, C, or D on the graph that matches your slope-intercept form. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you would have to go say, okay, this is a positive slope with a y-intercept of -3, and go from there. What's the y-intercept of this? Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate it. Positive 5.5. Describe the x-intercept on this one. Okay, so again, I'm not asking for the answer. I want you to describe it to me. So it's saying the fuel started at 200, which means that they had 200 gallons of fuel. Okay? And as it's trickling down, it's finally getting down to 20 as the time driven. So explain this to me in like a real world piece. AJ.
Whoever
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now hear me out on this. The reason they ran out of fuel is because if we have an x-intercept, like Ms. Tarver just told you, what does that mean that our y value has to be?
0.
And if our y value is our number of gallons, then the gallons have to be 0 after 20 hours. Understood?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, what's up, Charlie?
Are those gonna be like, those are gonna be.
No, it'll just say something to
We
the.
lost 10 gallons an hour.
It'll say something to the extent of like, after driving 20
Yeah,
hours,
cool.
it says 0.
Dude, 20 gallons an hour of eating through gas. Wait.
It's a big truck.
Yeah, but it lost 10 gallons an hour.
And I'll say zero.
All right. What form is this in? Convert that to slope intercept forming. Just like the previous problem that was in standard form, you're going to convert this to slope intercept form, and then you're going to have to choose the graph that matches it. Let me check my time on here. Okay, cool. We're at 11.
How to go?
You got it already?
I did.
Cool, cool. I love that. I love that you can do it. Just kind of while you guys are waiting for me to answer this, I was planning next week's when I get back before last night. And guys, I kind of combined 2 units together. So you're going to see some repeat of some things, but I think it's also going to make things a little bit easier for you. So just be aware of that. Bennett, you want to give me the answer?
It's y equals -3 x, yeah, plus 5.
Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to work it out or are we okay?
No, we're okay.
Same question. If you had 4 graphs, could you tell me which one matches that?
Yes.
We feel confident with that skill? Okay, good. Oh, my back is killing me today. Good night. One of my dogs sleeping in bed last night. Didn't go well. Okay, at a restaurant, jars of tomato sauce are stored in boxes in the pantry. Each box contains 8 jars of tomato sauce. The cook uses 2 jars in one of the boxes. Can you write me an equation in slope-intercept form that represents this? Do it. Do it. Write me an equation in slope-intercept form that represents this scenario. Write me an equation in slope-intercept form that represents this scenario. It's not a trick question. I'm not trying to stress you out here. Slope-intercept form.
You think the form is y than it's supposed to be, right?
Yep. Steve, what do you think?
You did 8x, y equals 8x minus 2.
What do you guys think? Anybody disagree?
No.
Anybody have a different answer? Katie, what do you got?
I'm not sure how it's minus.
Anybody like to explain to her why it's -2? Luke, go for it.
If they're using 2 jars, so.
Yeah, excellent. So look, at a restaurant, jars of tomato are stored in boxes in the pantry. Nobody cares. We don't care where they're from. They can store them in the bathroom. Each box contains 8 jars of tomato sauce. That's your slope, because every box has 8 in there, except for one of them has 2 jars missing. And so in order to make up for those 2 jars missing, we have to start at a decrease of -2. Great job. What's up, Addison?